Construction site areas, of course, involve heavy machinery, great risk, and the statistics bear this out. So it's no surprise that they're heavily regulated. And when I say regulated, I mean by federal and state agencies. And we'll talk about other regulations that could apply. But let's first talk about OSHA. OSHA is the federal agency we all know very well. It's been around since 1970, and whose mission really is the protection of people in the workforce or the protection of work sites. And a violation of an OSHA regulation can be evidence of negligence. It certainly is helpful to setting up a standard as to what is expected on a construction site. And I've spoken about when OSHA comes out to an accident and when OSHA doesn't come out. The fact is that if there is a violation of an OSHA provision, even if they didn't come out, that evidence can come forward in a case and can be an effective weapon in settling or prevailing at a trial. But just as OSHA has regulations, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and its regulatory authority has regulations. And the State Board of Building and Regulations and Standards has promulgated 780 CMR 107.6.3. And I know that's a lot of numbers, but all that says, and it says something very important, is that construction contractor services, the actual construction of the work, shall be the responsibility of the general contractor as identified on the approved building permit, and that person shall execute and control all methods of construction in a safe and satisfactory manner in accordance with all applicable local, state, federal statutes and regulations. So that's yet a second regulatory burden after OSHA. So we have OSHA, then we have what's known as the CMRs, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts regulations. But we don't stop there in proving our case. We have what I've referred to in the prior blogs as the American Institute of Architects Standard Form 201-2007, which puts the responsibility for safety, and it's very clear in its language and very clear in the commentary on that language, puts the responsibility squarely on the general contractor. At minimum, it's a joint responsibility, but there's no doubt there is responsibility. And as I said in another blog, there's safety manuals and safety protocols that a particular company that is being sued might have and expect their employees to follow. That too is another source of proving your construction site case. And then finally, your own experts who are familiar with OSHA and familiar with what goes on in a construction site will tell you what constitutes good and safe industry practice. And they are to be listened to. And you put those 5 elements in the mix, and I believe in fact there are 5, and you come out with a sense that the burden is squarely on certain parties or a particular party to adhere to safe and good construction practice to minimize the risk of injuries. Thank you.